Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday to you. It's region weather meteorologist Matt Wentz. I want to bring you an update. We've got some snow on the way tomorrow. I'm already seeing social media abuzz with it's not all dramatic, but there's some dramatic parts of this. And we've got snow on the way. It's March. We can handle it. Okay. So I know the title of this is it a big deal or no? No, it's not going to be a big deal. However, we are going to have some travel that we have to worry about because there's going to be a period of some slick streets out there. Okay, and we are going to have some snow on the ground by the end of all this. But in the big picture, this is not a blockbuster event that's moving in. However, here's my hook to keep you into this forecast here. Not that you have to stay; it's Facebook Live, so that's fine. We've changed this pattern around, right? So we're talking now snow with the system tomorrow. We're going to have some rain at the onset. We'll get into the details. But as we go into the weekend, there's another system with some snow. Next week, there's another system with some snow. These could be bigger deals as we go on through the long term. As we stay cold through the middle of March, there's going to be a lot of 30s around here for highs, some lows in the teens. So we've certainly flipped that pattern around. This is really the first time this winter that we're seeing this kind of pattern, at least globally speaking as well, in terms of who's getting the cold, who's getting the warm. So we'll talk about that. This is a bonus edition of Region Weather Live. So we'll cover it quickly. We'll answer your questions. And then I know we all have a wonderful Wednesday evening to get to, so we'll get to that as well. Let's run our open first, then we'll chat about our snow chances. We'll go a little beyond that here in this Wednesday evening edition of Region Weather. And I can't help but see our family of sponsors there on the bottom. Guys, we have such a wonderful group with us right now that keep all this for free. They pay, the subscription costs, all that stuff. I won't get into that because, again, this is a bonus edition of Region Weather Live. But please support our sponsors if you can. It's Discovery Travel. That's our local travel agency. They are awesome at planning getaways from the cold into the warm places in the world right now. So pay them a visit. If you're planning any trip, please go through them, not Expedia or anything like that. And I noticed my humidifier. I've got a humidifier at my desk. I'll shut it off. But there's like this steam, this vapor coming in. I don't know. I think I'm high as a kite right now. This is not the case. I'm at work. Anyway, Ewing Mechanical Services, also they're everything HVAC related, furnace related, anything in terms of house environment, right? We focus on the outdoor atmosphere. It's Ewing, MECH.com. They have a brand new website. They're also running specials right now. I think it's still going. It was over the weekend, a new furnace, and you get an indoor humidifier as well. So they've got some great specials there. They've been serving Northwest Indiana for over 20 years. So great company there. Tiger Plumbing. We all love Tiger Plumbing. They come out for free. If you've got any drips or leaks or anything like that, if your toilet's running, they come out and check it out for free, and they'll analyze it, and then you'll get a fair cost. But they do great work. A lot of you have already used them and love them. It's tigerplumbing.net. One of our newest sponsors, I have to give them a shout out. PSA, it's Public Service Adjusting. This is such a need in the community that's unknown. But if you have any storm damage, or you think you have storm damage from maybe the snow, maybe you brought a tree down or there's a branch down in your house and you want them to check it out, they'll check it out for you. Also, if you have submitted an insurance claim due to some snow or storm damage or whatever it happens to be, and you don't feel like you're getting enough money, you can bring them in and they will get more money for you, essentially, if you're being underpaid for something. So again, their website is publicserviceadjusting.com. They are local to Northwest Indiana as well. Our final two sponsors, last but not least, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. Awesome community work that they do as a car dealership as well, but they specialize on Jeeps, which are just fantastic any time of the year, but it's better when, the top's off and it's warm outside. So there's that. And Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valpo. And then St. Jude House, if you're not familiar with them, they want to get the word out about their services. All right. Domestic violence is not something fun to talk about. I'm uncomfortable talking about it, right? But it's something that's so serious, and there's so many people that don't get help for something like that. And there's so many different forms of that. It could be financial domestic violence. There's many different forms. But anyway, they want to get the word out and make sure that everyone's taken care of. There's a stigma behind it. There's shame with it as well, and there shouldn't be. And what they do is provide a safe house for these folks. Their community advocates will actually go meet you or whoever needs help in a public place. all hidden under the scenes, whatever you need. If you need help getting to your job, whatever it is, they'll do that. And they have a new mobile advocacy program that helps do that as well. So please just get the word out on that. It's St. Jude House here in Northwest Indiana. And again, they are just doing wonderful things for something that's not talked about a lot. Okay. So that's why I felt like we need to get the word out as well with that, because we do that with weather. So let's dive into it here and talk about this. I've got a lot of people that were early birds here today. I usually try to get as many sponsors as I can in before you guys say hi, but you guys are so fast. Deb's with us, Christina, Aaron, Gail, Jacqueline, hello. Sarah was our first one on tonight. Kristen's with us as well. Cynthia, hello to you. Amy, Phoebe says, I love this. Had Tiger Plumbing out for a clog and minor issue. They are great. Phoebe, I appreciate that. I've heard nothing but good things about them. Anne, you're welcome. Greg, I appreciate that. Jeff is with us. Justin, Mark's with us. I go on and on. Fred, Amanda, everyone, Susan, Tyler, what's up? All right, let's get to it. Let's dive into the maps. Let me get this shared properly. There we go. I'm in the corner in this nice little box where I need to be, in a nice little corner in the box. Okay, so here's our system we're dealing with right now. It's a swirl actually out towards California. There's been a system in the plains, and I talked about this yesterday in our Facebook post, that it wasn't going to affect us. It was going to kind of fizzle. So we've been seeing some clouds off of that, right? But that system's not going to affect us. What is the combination of this strong low pressure off the west coast and this area of energy right here where my mouse is circling. There's an area of energy kind of ejecting off of that. And that's what we're really going to see over the next 7 days is this low pressure takes its time going south. This will combine with an atmospheric river event, which is basically the flow of moisture through the Pacific. And it'll be a strong one through areas of central and southern California again. Another 5 to 6 feet in the Sierra Nevadas. I mean, they are just logged with snow right now. The problem with this event for them is that a lot of them are going to deal with rain with this one. It's not quite as cold out there. So a lot of that snow is going to be melting with heavy rain. I mean, another 4, 5, 6 inches of rain on top of that. They're going to have some flood concerns in California. You're going to notice that on a national scale over the upcoming days, especially into the weekend. But anyway, this system, as it dives south, will kind of prolong that. But also for us, we get these kind of waves of energy that eject off of that low pressure center that will come across the country. They're going to have specific moisture to it. So we're not talking a ton of moisture as we have the last couple weeks with these storms out of the Gulf that go down. They grab the Gulf of Mexico moisture and bring it up, throw it either as snow or rain. So they're going to have less moisture with it, but they're not Arctic systems that don't have much moisture at all. So we stand the chance with this at seeing some rounds of accumulating snow as we go over the extended period because we're staying on the cold side of things. National Weather Service has gone ahead. All the offices there, you see all the purple. That's your winter weather advisories. We've got winter storm warnings, I believe. I think those are warnings right now. I don't see the color code off. And yeah, those are winter storm warnings in areas of Iowa and Minnesota. That's mainly for what they're getting right now. They're actually getting a system now, and then they get more on top of that tomorrow. They're kind of special in terms of that. So here we go. Let's go through time. This all happens tomorrow, by the way. So clouds will thicken up as we go throughout the morning hours. As we get into the afternoon, we're going to have temperatures that are up into the 40s. So we're not talking, real heavy accumulating snow, at least initially. But what I think happens, you can see the system as it evolves kind of as a whole. It's a brief hit of moisture that's going to last maybe 6 to 10 hours or so. But as it moves in, because we're warm, it'll start as rain. I don't really question that. I think we'll start as rain. I really do. Some of the models bring this a little further south, and they still start us as rain. I think rain moves in for that evening rush hour. I think anytime after 3 p.m., we'll probably see some showers squeak in here. I think 5, 6, 7 o'clock is when the rain really hits. Okay, so a wet evening rush hour, not expecting any concerns in terms of travel tomorrow evening for you. But as we get later in the evening, that colder air starts to build in. And one of the reasons why is you look at this as it comes in. Remember, we look at isobars a lot. Those black lines on here. Last couple systems, they've been really tight, and there's been a lot of wind energy with these storms. With the one tomorrow, there's not really a lot of organization in the atmosphere, so there's not a lot of wind. We'll have an east wind. It'll be breezy, but not windy. So no big deal with that. But what drags this cold air in here is the fact that a low develops. You notice how we have more isobars by tomorrow night than we did during the day. And so as that low gets better developed, it will start to pull some of this colder air into the system. That will change our rain over to snow. And I'm very confident in that as well. This is not like last week's storm system that was up until the last minute. I think we start as rain again around 5 o'clock, just give or take, an hour or so on either side, depending on your location. And then I think we start to change over. We'll mix and change over to snow. My best guess is like 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. And once it goes over to snow, we're talking a heavy, wet snow again. We'll have the sun will be down by then, so we can accumulate snow a little bit easier. So I do think we get some accumulating snow around here tomorrow, again, anytime after 8 p.m., more than likely 9, 10, 11 o'clock. And that's it. And then the system's out of here. There's a little bit of a lake effect potential on the backside that would carry us through early Friday morning. And then into midday, it should become a little bit more scattered. There's like this weak trough. You can kind of see it there, how that moisture kicks up on the lake there. Nothing too well organized, but it'll likely keep some snowflakes going on Friday where we could get some additional light accumulations. But in terms of big deal scale, I don't see this as being a big deal. The timing is a little bit different as well. This isn't a rush hour that this is hitting. This is after tomorrow evening's rush hour, where we'll change over to some snow. I do think it'll be wet. It'll be kind of messy for the evening rush hour, but it'll be all rain. And then the snow, again, it's 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock midnight. That's not really a high travel time. Do I think we coat the streets? I think they'll be warm initially. If we get heavier enough rates, it'll be kind of like the last time in terms of, if we get heavier enough wet snowfall rates, that puts down that initial coating, which will change that road temp down to close to 32. So then after that, you can pile some stuff up. But these amounts aren't really pile worthy. I think a general 1 to 3 for us here in Northwest Indiana. Some of the models are bringing some of the heavier snow south, and they do have 5 to 8 on us. I don't really see that right now. I think a good slushy 1 to 3 inches will do it. And again, I may lean more towards the 2 to 3, just based on the basic latest model runs, kind of bringing that a little bit further south. But again, I don't think this is going to be a huge deal for us tomorrow night. Friday during the day, we could pick up some additional light lake effect, which may carry some of our totals to 4 inches. But I think that'll be more exception than the rule, I guess is the saying with that. Okay. So that's kind of, the way we do it. Again, no hype here. So sorry if you're looking for a big winter storm, check Twitter. They'll tell you all about it. Okay. Let's go beyond that though. Okay. Cause that's what I like to do. So here's our system. This is the Euro run tonight. Brings that system through. It's out of here pretty quickly. Saturday looks fairly quiet until late in the day when we start to bring in another wave that ejects off of that Western system. So here we go. This is Saturday night into Sunday. This is now early Sunday. You notice the system kind of breaking out towards our west. This is going to be all snow on Sunday. Again, it doesn't look to be that intense. I think we'll just have snowflakes around. I think just at preliminary look on Sunday, this is like a 1 to 2 incher. If the strength of this low on Sunday kind of increases a little bit, I could see bumping it up 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 4, but right now it looks like a 1 to 2 incher as it moves through. Not too much organization, could have some briefly moderate snow at times, but again, not a big deal on Sunday either, other than the fact we'll be seeing more snow. What's interesting though, and where I think we may pick up something a little bit more impressive than that, is Sunday night into Monday. This main system goes by. There's a secondary area of low pressure back here towards the west. What this will do is kind of spiral its way across the Great Lakes. It'll bring widespread general snowfall with it, but it's also going to ignite the lake effect. There's some cold air aloft with this one that's pretty impressive for this time of year. And as this spirals through, I think we could get some lake effect around here on into Monday and Monday night. So here's a look at it on the Euro. You can see how Monday morning, this is waking up Monday morning, we've got general snowflakes around, just snow shower activity as this trough kind of pivots through. At the same time, an East Coast low is developing, so they're going to get potentially a real good snow out towards the East Coast. So the isobars are starting to kind of tightly pack. We're getting more of a flow across the lake. As we go throughout the day Monday, that trough swings through. We've got a pretty strong northeast wind, and we've got that cold air coming across the lake, which is unfrozen, obviously, due to our warmer winter. And I think that'll kick off some lake effect snow. So I would keep an eye on the lake effect snow potential Monday into Monday night. You can see how it kind of goes there. You can see the banding on the Euro into Tuesday morning, and then that's out of here. So several chances for snow. Again, tomorrow night's probably our biggest one. And then the Sunday one, we'll get maybe another inch or two. depending on how that evolves. But really, that Monday timeframe is the one that I would have most concern with, to be honest. It doesn't look like a blockbuster lake effect event, but could we squeak out some bigger totals from that? I think we could. And then beyond that, the models kind of diverge in their solutions. Some kind of weak system comes through here later next week. And then all indication is there's some kind of stronger system that comes in here, not this weekend, but the weekend after that. But way too early to tell that in model land here. So let's talk snowfall totals, then we'll talk temps, and then we'll answer your questions and get you on your way here tonight, okay? So in terms of snowfall, here's the latest Euro run. This is coming in tonight. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so we can see that a little bit better in terms of local snow here. So this is the Euro run on that system tomorrow. And again, I told you these totals are coming in a little higher. So the Euro is saying anywhere from 4 to 5 inches in our northern counties, 1 to 2 in our southern counties. Another sharp cutoff with this one where the rain and snow line goes. So Euro's coming in hot. And again, that's the evening run, which I've not seen yet. GFS saying anywhere from 2 to 6 inches. All right. So my 1 to 3 is pretty low here. Here's your gem, which is saying 1 to 3. It's got some 5s in there, though, too. The compaction of this, it's going to be a heavy, wet snow. I think a lot of it's going to melt. Are we going to have snow on the ground? Yes, but I'm going to stick with my 1 to 3 right now. And looking at some of these latest model runs, I'm getting a little sweaty thinking that, but I really think I'm going to stick with 1 to 3. Okay. One more thing I want to show you. Let's go back to this because I think the HRRR kind of agrees with me. Yeah, this is the latest HRRR run tonight. And yeah, see, this is kind of what I'm thinking here. Heavier amounts up towards Chicago, back towards the Michigan, Indiana border out east. And you notice how we're kind of stuck in the 1 to 3. It's got some, 3.2s in there. Again, this isn't truth. None of this is gospel. It's all modeling. And then we have to form a forecast on that. But just based on how this system looks, the fact that we're going to start as rain, it's going to take a little bit longer for that snow to accumulate, maybe a half hour longer because we'll have the rain and the wet surfaces. Again, I'm still going to stay with 1 to 3 tomorrow. Let's go beyond this, though. And that's mainly tomorrow night. Let's go beyond this and look at that lake effect event later this week. So if we know the Euro is saying 1 to 3 already, why is this Euro different? This Euro's, it doesn't go out as far. That's why. Okay, let me go back to that real quick. I'm going to go back to the 12Z so we can go out next week. So let's go into next week. And this is all the way through, I'm going to take it through Tuesday of next week. You notice our totals are getting a little higher here, right? This includes Sunday's snow system. This includes Monday's lake effect system with the general snowfall. And the Euro's spitting out anywhere from 7 to 9 inches around here, a general 2 to 4 down towards the south. That's where, we're not talking, again, a big event, but it's going to start to add up a little bit. And I think we're going to have some white ground around here. Imagine that. The GFS is similar. It's got anywhere from 5 to 9 inches around here by next Tuesday. And that's cumulative. Keep that in mind. That's not all at once. And then the GEM, which has been pretty light on the snowfall recently, is even saying anywhere from about 3 to 6 inches on the ground by then. So kind of interesting where we go in terms of the modeling with the snowfall. Again, tomorrow's very tricky. And the big thing that we're kind of battling in the models is where does the exact track of this low go? Where's the rain snow line? I mean, you see it here tomorrow evening, where Newton, Jasper County, you'll probably change over last, and that's why your amounts will be a little bit lighter. But if this changes over earlier and we get 2 to 3 more hours of snow out of it, then I could see the 2 to 4 to 5 inches of snow. But I don't think this is going to be a huge deal. We're going to get some higher snowfall rates at time. It's going to be wet snow. But we can handle a 1 to 3 incher. We could even handle a 3 to 5 incher, let's be honest, but we'll keep it at that for now. And then a little bit of additional lake effect on that backside. Okay. All right. So that's what we've got. This is not, I saw the comment. Well, Courtney, I know you're not calling this out, but I see the comment there like last Friday. This is not going to be like last Friday. This is a different kind of system. It doesn't have nearly the wind energy that last Friday's did. It's not going to produce quite as high of snowfall rates. It doesn't have quite that moisture, that lift in the atmosphere. I don't think there'll be thunder snow with this either. Last Friday was pretty incredible, that system as a whole. This one's going to be a little bit quicker, a little bit less intense, but still a heavy, wet snow. You're absolutely right in terms of that. Okay. Adri, for sure. Okay. Jessica's got a migraine. I'm sorry. I know we talk about that all the time. Anytime there's a low coming in, Jessica, I hope you don't have one now because again, this low isn't here yet, and this low is not going to be that strong. It's going to get stronger as it goes east. So there's that. So I hope, again, I hope you don't feel this one. If you felt that last one, I can only imagine because that low was strong. Okay, Annette says we have a flight out of O'Hare tomorrow night at 7:30. Any chance of leaving on time? Um, that's going to be tricky, Annette. Yeah, that's the time that we're going to have some snow around for sure, as we kind of talked about. Um, there's a chance, I mean, this isn't going to be a crippling event for O'Hare. And I mean, they do plan in advance. They're just as in tune with the weather as any meteorologists around here. So there's that. So, if they can keep the runways clear, I think some of the snowfall rates will be pretty intense, though, even in Chicago, where I think they could pick up a little bit more snow. So there's a chance for sure, but the likelihood of that, of you being impacted by that, whether it be a delay or whatever it happens to be, I do think the likelihood's up with that snow coming around. Yeah, Susie's got a migraine too. Shoot. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, Jessica, we really haven't. We haven't had much snow at all this year. It's been insane. Mark's asking what time on Sunday you plow several churches for sure. Let's get some timing on that for you, Mark. Let me go back to the Euro here. We'll go. I think our 18Z takes us there. No, it doesn't quite yet. So we're not quite there on the long term. So Sunday, this is midnight. This is 3 a.m. So the models have it moving in the morning. So church services would be impacted. I don't know if this system sticks together. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but it's definitely morning, Mark. So it'd be morning through midday, and then it's kind of clearing out in the afternoon. I've looked at the latest 18Z run, which is the latest Euro, only goes up to that time. But you can see how it's kind of more broken up. So again, the models are having trouble figuring out if this system kind of phases together, if this northern stream phases with the southern stream. And if they don't, we could just have some flurries around here. If they do, we could be talking the 1 to 3 inches. So that's going to be something we'll need to watch over the next 2 days or so. We should have a better idea of that. But again, I could see Sunday morning not being a big deal at all. I don't see it being a big deal at all to begin with. But in terms of plowing, I could see it where you don't even have to plow Sunday morning. Okay. Let's see. So, okay, Christopher says, still taking the fiance to Indy at 7 a.m. Saturday, coming back Sunday afternoon. What am I looking at? Always on the go. It's okay. Always traveling. So Christopher, 7 a.m. Saturday looks okay. I think we'll have some lingering lake effect snow around. I don't think it's going to be anything crippling, though. So I think you'll be fine to leave Saturday. And then Sunday afternoon, it depends on what happens with that Sunday system. I don't see that being a big deal either. May have, at worst, a couple inches to contend with both sides. But overall, I think you'll be fine traveling-wise. Maxwell asked a great question. You expect a pattern flip to mild air by the end of the month. Maxwell, I don't see signs of it right now. I really don't. This cooler pattern sticks around through at least the 20th as it looks right now. There are signs that it kind of lessens up. It pulls back a little bit. But I think we stay cool at least through the middle to latter half of the month. I mean, as we get into the March 20th timeframe. After that, who knows? Whatever Mother Nature wants to do. But we'll be able to tell, obviously, getting into it in advance for sure. Mark, yeah, so let's talk temps real quick. And Tina asking anything for Friday morning. So Friday morning, Tina, some leftover lake effect snow from this system that we have coming in here tomorrow afternoon. Okay, so here's your Friday morning right here. Just some lingering snow showers around and whatever snow's accumulated. Miriam, no, they're going to stick around a little bit longer. We don't have a big warm up on the backside of this. So that's what I wanted to cover was temperatures real quick. Let's go to this right here, and I'm going to go to the latest Euro. Actually, we'll go to the 12Z so we can cover it. So here's your highs the next couple days. Here's tomorrow. This is why I think we start as rain, because we're going to have temps in the 40s. Eventually, we'll cool down again, but we'll be in the 40s tomorrow. So warm surfaces tomorrow. We lay down that snow tomorrow. Here are your highs on Friday. So we're talking above freezing. So anything that does accumulate when it's not snowing, it'll have the slow drip drop to it. But no rapid accumulation with this. And then Saturday, we're still looking cool. So Saturday, we're still in the 30s, maybe 40s in our southern communities. And then Sunday, remember, we get that other snow in here. So we're back to mid and upper 30s. And then next week, we get that cold air in with that lake effect. So we're talking low 30s on Monday. cold nights too. We're back into the teens at night, low 30s on Tuesday. And then this is again kind of this time range can change. Wednesday, we're near 40. Thursday, a little bit of a warm up there, perhaps mid 40s. And then Friday, mid 40s, perhaps 50 in our southern area. So we've got a little bit of time here. And to Maxwell's point, this warm air you see coming in here doesn't look to be a big surge. It kind of glances by before some more cold air spills back in. All indication shows that right now. So great question, Miriam. Real good question about that. Okay, Barb is traveling from North Carolina to Valpo Thursday night into Friday morning. Well, that's interesting. I'm not saying that's not the best time to travel, but that's going to be right in the peak of the storm. It's not a huge winter storm, so it will be manageable, but I do think you'll have some impactful travel. So by Thursday night, I would imagine the route you're taking, gosh, how are you getting here? Are you going straight up? Are you doing 77 to 80 in Ohio? Or are you cutting over in Tennessee? Your best bet for this, I don't know the timing difference of the travel there, but your best bet for this would be probably to cut across Tennessee. Is that I-40? I think it's 40 that runs through Tennessee. Hit up Nashville for dinner, maybe. I don't know how long you're driving. And then I would go 65 north. That would probably be your best bet. If you were to head up towards 80 in Ohio, you're going to encounter snow the whole time. But if you're coming at this from the south, you won't encounter any problems until you get into the region. So Newton and Jasper County may have a little bit of snow down towards Remington, but other than that, you should be okay for that. So I hope that helps. But again, if there's not a huge time difference and you can do I think it's 40 through Tennessee to 65, I think that would be the better bet. You'll encounter some rain towards the end of your drive, but not at least you're not dealing with the heavy wet snow. So there's that. Okay. So Barb, have a safe trip when you're going. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Barb, that's probably the route I wouldn't go. Again, if there's not a huge time change in terms of a length of travel, I wouldn't do that. And the reason why, I mean, you're going to be fine Thursday. Yeah, that's so tough because that snow, you'll hit the snow in Indiana. I mean, what we're looking at here, this is 11 p.m. on Thursday night. So at some point you're running into this, which isn't the world's craziest snow, but it's heavy, wet snow, and it's just slick. And the toll road just isn't good in Indiana at night with snow. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, Barb, I hope that helps. I don't want to extend your trip, another 6 hours with travel, but it would be better weather-wise if you did that. Lori, no problem. So she's asking how much for Valpo. Lori, I think this is going to be a 1 to 3 incher for us. We looked at the latest models. Some of the models say anywhere from like 3 to 6 inches. So maybe I should go 1 to 4. But I think it's going to be a 1 to 3 incher for Valpo. All right. So that's that. My confidence has dwindled a little bit this evening with the snowfall numbers coming down. The track is a little bit further south. So, but it's a heavy, wet snow. We've got that rain initially, temps in the 40s initially. So once it starts to accumulate, we'll get high enough rates that, it will start to accumulate. This is going to stick to trees. I don't think there'll be power outages with this because it's not going to be real windy. It's not going to be real heavy on the trees, but it should be pretty around here waking up Friday morning. Okay, here's another one. Anne says, and this will be my last one. I think we're okay. I do have Russ ask a question too. I have friends coming up to Cedar Lake Friday, leaving on Sunday from Southern Tennessee via 65. Yeah, they'll be okay. There's not a lot of impactful weather happening. So if they're coming up Friday, here's Friday. Their drive's fine. The wind is going to be against them, so they will have worse gas mileage. But there's going to be just some lingering lake effect snow. I don't think that's going to be anything to write home about for them. And then you said they're leaving on Sunday. So they're going to encounter the system on Sunday. But again, I don't think that's a big deal. It'll probably be some snow here changing over to rain. I don't see that as being a huge deal for them in terms of their travel. So here's Sunday. This is what the system looks like. We'll have some snow here. You get south of Indy, it'll change over to rain. It'll just be rainy for them. There's not a ton of wind with that system either. So just kind of a crummy drive, but I don't think it'll be that dangerous for them. Russ asked a good question. I want to get to this. Do you see it becoming an underachiever in lower totals, warmer during the day to melt off that first inch or inch and a half? Russ, yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning with this one. I think I don't think the models have a good sense of kind of the compaction that also happens with wet snow. Whereas, if this were a light, fluffy snow, I could easily see us getting 3 to 6. But the wet snow, some of it's melting initially. It compacts with the weight of the water in that snow. So, 3 inches of wet snow is no slack, but I really think we're going to fall in that range. And we'll see. Again, we'll see what happens with this. But in terms of this being a big deal, and that's why we talk impacts, I don't see this as being a huge impactful snowfall. Tomorrow, late in the evening, are we going to turn slippery around here? Yeah, we are. Friday morning, should it all be cleaned up? It should be. Not saying it all will be, but it should be for sure. Okay. All right. I think that's it. That's all I see. Russ doesn't want to plow anymore. That's awesome. Tom, the models have been a little tricky this winter. They really have. There's a lot of things that they're just not getting. The GFS has been no help this winter whatsoever. So, we can pretty much take that model out when it comes to forecasting. We can't, because it actually did help. Last week's storm system, it was the first one to grasp onto kind of what it looked like. That's the only positive I can think. And it's just tricky. The thing is, this pattern, if we were colder, if we were in the 20s, this would be easy. We'd forecast how much snow and it'd be that. But all these storm systems, we've been forecasting whether it's rain or snow, which makes a huge difference. And where exactly the track of that low goes, all these things kind of have made it for just a headache of a winter in terms of forecasting. But you're right. The models should be getting better every single day. They really should be, because they're taking what's happening and they're putting it into the algorithms and the data input, right? So it should eventually continue to learn itself. And it just doesn't always seem like that, for sure. The GFS does do better in warmer months often. Again, the hurricane forecasting has gotten better. It did get an upgrade. I don't know if a couple years ago. So yeah, it does. I don't think it does a good job with temperatures in the summertime. It usually underachieves, whereas the Euro goes gangbusters on heat waves. It thinks it's going to be 100 degrees every day past day 10 sometimes. So again, that's what makes this not a perfect science, because nothing's perfect about it. And we're trying to forecast an atmosphere that's constantly moving, thousands of square miles up above us, that's always churning and moving. I don't know if it'll ever be a perfect science, and that's why I like it. So there's that, because it's always something, for sure. Barb, I appreciate that. We'll use you in our next commercial. Again, we don't have a budget for commercials, but if we did, I appreciate your comment, for sure. Drive safe, okay? All right, everybody. Thanks for taking time out of your Wednesday to join me. It means the world to me. I really do appreciate it. I feel like it's just family getting together to chat weather, and that's wonderful. So have a good night. We'll be back with you. Let's see. I'm trying to think of my schedule Friday. Maybe back with you on Friday. If not Friday, it'll be a Sunday or Sunday evening Region Weather Live. We'll do that, okay? And we'll have graphics and posts. We'll be on our radio stations around Northwest Indiana as well. So don't worry about that. But in terms of us speaking face-to-face on Friday, I can't guarantee that. But Sunday I can. Okay? All right. We'll talk to you.